Hey everyone, Snobby Bobby here. Just want to give you a quick update. Basically, things have been really, really tight lately, so thanks for your patience on getting these episodes out. We are going into the Halloween season. Usually means we prioritize the Not For Everyone podcast above anything else as much as we can. That being said, please, we love doing this. Hit us up on Instagram at Not For Everyone podcast or on email, Gmail, notforeveryone17@gmail.com. If you have a spooky experience that you would like to share with us, either you could write it out and we'll perform a radio play or something, or you can come on and we can interview you, whatever you're comfortable with. But we really, really enjoy hearing your spooky stories. So if you have any, again, if you don't want to come on the show, that's fine. You can remain completely anonymous. We don't care. Send us in your stories and we'll discuss them on the show. Just send in whatever you think. Whatever, like aliens, UFOs, Bigfoots, Wendigos are always appreciated. I always appreciate a Wendigo story. What's the other one? Ghosts, obviously. The point is, we're going into the spooky season now. We want to keep the tradition alive. Let us know your spooky personal encounters. Hit us up on Instagram at Not For Everyone Podcast or notforeveryone17@gmail.com. Here's an episode that we decided to give a tribute to Paul Reubens by covering Mystery Men.
So, Austin, I'm curious, you're saying you're in the Ninja Turtles, and we're talking a little about the new Ninja Turtle movies that we both want to see, right?
Yeah, it looks great.
So, fuck.
It's a party episode.
So, the Ninja Turtles now, like the new Ninja Turtles, what was it you said earlier? Say to me again.
The new one, they actually look like teenagers.
They actually look like teenagers. Because forever and eternity, like, Ninja Turtles have looked like fucking He-Man. They look like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Predator. They're like fucking muscle men.
Was that a product of the time, do you think?
Well, my question is...
look at the comics.
They were muscle bound.
Yeah.
But it was in the 80s, and everything was fucking muscle bound in the 80s. Austin, being the only, gay man that's on this show regularly, which of the Ninja Turtles...
Let's not get carried away here.
Well, you're the only open gay man who's on this show regularly. Looking at you, Bobby. So which of the Ninja...
Let's not get carried away here.
Which of the Ninja Turtles are the most fuckable?
Oh, I have this down already.
You have a list?
Okay. Fuck Michelangelo. Absolutely. He's got the most energy. He's
kind of annoying, though.
Well, I'm saying fuck, right?
Okay.
He's going to be great in bed.
Oh, yeah. Annoying broads are usually...
He's a teenager, Austin. He's a teenager.
We're talking 80s era when they're all muscle bound.
You want like a Jeff Spicoli.
When they had like the 27-year-olds playing the teenagers.
Sure.
And then Mary Donatello.
You'd marry Donatello.
Yeah, he seems very stable.
I think you did marry Donatello.
Basically, he's got that BDE, he's got that big bow staff, and then kill Raphael for sure.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, I always related most to Raphael.
Kill Raphael, exactly.
Well, I'm a Michelangelo.
And then Leonardo can watch.
Wow, I think he'd probably get into that.
Leonardo just is kind of, he's the leader.
He's asexual. That's canon.
Is Leonardo... Is that canon?
That's fucking bullshit.
Canon, yeah.
It's fucking bullshit. You know what? Listen, thank you for your answer. That wasn't my fucking question.
Okay, what was
my
your
question is that out of all the Ninja Turtles, there's like those fucking Michael Bay, like big weird Ninja Turtles, and then there's like the guys in the suits.
Jim Henson ones are the hottest ones.
We're not asking you.
We're talking about Fuppets.
I'm asking the open gay man, not the closeted gay man. So which of the Ninja Turtle iterations, get your pick on the hardest?
The cartoon version.
The original cartoon version.
Yeah.
It's the original.
Because they muscled them up real nice.
Interesting.
And the Jim Henson ones, I love. They look great, but they look like, Muppets. Yeah, they're very soft.
So okay. So you're saying number one for sure is the OG. I mean, that was.
Oh yeah.
Did you get chubbies prepubescent
we're
chubbies
talking about
Ninja Turtles?
The OG is the comic books.
Now we're talking about when they're like when they rose to fame, Bobby, like Korn did on their album Freak on a Leash. Their breakout.
Let's follow the leader, Adam. Let's follow the leader.
Their breakout, Ninja Turtles breakout was the cartoon show.
Yeah, definitely that iteration. And to answer your other question, yes, it definitely awoke something in me watching the muscly bound turtle spike.
It's like Chet from Weird Science with you, Adam, right?
What?
That's what awoke into your sexual.
No, I was like, I'm him. That's me. That's me, and he can still get laid. I can do
Chet,
this.
no, but Chet as the Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah. That was me. I realized that was me. So here's my other question. Second question, catty cornered off the first question. Piggybacked off the first question. So what was more f***able, the cartoon animals, the teenagers, the cartoon teenagers?
I don't like the way you phrase that.
Or the action figures? Were the action figures hot? Like
one's tangible.
Yeah. So I actually there's a.
I know what I'm doing with this, Bobby.
So we recently played Shredder's Revenge, which actually that one probably has the hottest.
Okay. Because they're based on the old
Baxter
ones.
Cockman.
And in Shredder's Revenge, there's a boss named he's the Badger. I forget his name, but I looked up his action figure and he is daddied out, and I was like, I need to get this for my office ASAP.
Honey Badger? Was his name Honey Badger?
No, he is a badger. So look up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle badger character, I guess.
I mean, look, like I remember all the weird, ridiculous like Ray Fillet and fucking Mondo Gecko.
Ray Fellatio.
Wow, dude, we can make a total like AI. We should get AI to make a Ninja Turtle porno of. Just do it.
There already is Ninja Turtle porno. We don't need AI for these things. Yeah.
Can you send it to me?
I don't think it's like gay porn. There probably is that too.
Why would you not? They're all just fucking April O'Neil.
No, yeah. It's very. No, there's definitely that.
But Ninja Turtle gay porn, there's just so much more you can do with that.
That has to exist.
Yeah, it has to exist. It's got to be out there.
Is that a cold? Is that a cold open?
That sounds like a cold open.
Sounds like a cold open to me.
Thrill me.
You know, there's gorillas in these woods.
Mortis? What's that?
It's all in the reflexes.
Chicken's good. I like chicken.
I'd buy that for $1.
Oh, wait. Was she a great big fat person?
I drink your milkshake.
Carpet Day!
You make me want to be a better man.
I'm running this monkey farm now, Frankenstein, and I want to know what the fuck you're doing with my time!
See you at the party, Richter!
You're listening to the Not For Everyone podcast. My name is Snobby Bobby, coming live from Austin, Texas, in the Toy Room. I have in front of me Crude Rude Dude. And regular guest, Simple Austin.
Simple Austin. I think Simple Austin deserves like at least a producer credit.
Oh, yeah, producer.
I mean, he fucking trick-fucked this whole episode into happening by bringing us sandwiches.
he brings us sandwiches and Vietnamese food every time we hang out.
Dude, we should eat some Vietnamese food and watch Crash.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Patreon, the David Cronenberg one or the racist
The Cronenberg one. No. It's okay. So in Vietnamese food, in the pho, you have like the beef, the brisket, you know, and it looks like that. And that's what Holly Hunter's leg looks like when she splays it open and James Spader f***ed it.
Wow.
So there's a clear through line here.
Holly Hunter. Haven't heard
totally
that
in Vietnamese food.
Well, anyway, this is the Not For Everyone podcast. If you haven't noticed already, consider the title your trigger warning.
You triggered.
Again, Crude Rude Dude, Simple Austin's here. Remind me, Austin, why are you on this episode? I can't remember why we decided it made sense.
I don't know.
Because he brought sandwiches.
You literally texted me and you're like, we need you on the show again.
It hasn't been since Christmas.
Yeah, that's true. And then we turned it in. I will take credit for this.
Mm-hmm.
We hijacked it.
Explain the audible to the audience.
Yes. So we hijacked the episode. It was originally going to be a certain other movie that I won't disclose.
Ghosts of Mars.
We've already advertised it.
But unfortunately, the great Paul Reubens passed away.
Pee-wee's dead!
And then I suggested bringing over Reubens and us watching Mystery Men, which is the movie that we're going to cover tonight.
What a great way to honor Paul Reubens.
Great way to honor.
We couldn't have at least watched Big Top Pee-wee.
Yeah. But then,
Batman
so then it
Returns.
audibled into a Paul Rubens memorial celebration
wake.
episode. Yeah. So I guess that's how I ended up on this episode.
Yeah.
Welcome, Austin.
Thank you.
Welcome.
There was more to it than that, but that's fine. We're glad you're here. So this is we shifted gears here. We are still in summer flopbusters. We got this movie and one more coming up, which is we were originally going to do Goes to Mars. That's on the way next. But Mystery Men is actually a perfect flopbuster.
Yep. $68 million budget.
Yes.
Made $30 million at the box office.
That's a flop.
That's a flop.
It's a flop.
It had everybody in it.
It had a hell of a cast. They spent a lot of fucking money on Ben Stiller.
I decided this tonight after we just watched it. I always said that the most early 90s movie or early mid 90s movie is So I Married an Axe Murderer, and this is the most late mid 90s.
Yeah, you know what though, Bobby? Here's the thing. You say that.
Here's the thing. I'm going to disagree with you.
You've never seen The Crow. You've never seen The fucking Crow. Shut the fuck up, Bobby.
Why? How did that claim invite this level of animosity?
Because I'm listening
I don't
to you,
understand
and you're like the most early 90 movies of Simon.
You're welcome to disagree.
And I'm thinking to myself, this fucking guy's never seen The Crow.
You're welcome to disagree. I don't care.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't bother me. But like, why do you have to bring a level of like smug dismissal?
To be fair, you've never seen The Crow.
Fuck both of you. Get out of my house.
Fucking thank you, man.
Let's go to movie recap.
Movie recap. I do a podcast. I've never seen The Crow. We always talk about movies, cult movies, and 90s movies.
Hey, you know what?
Never seen The Crow.
I'll see you're never seen The Crow and raise you. I'm gonna go first this movie recap. I just revisited one of my favorite 90s sci-fi movies.
Okay. Event Horizon?
Dark City.
Dark City!
I love Dark City.
And as Dark City is probably my top 3 at least.
It's a great film.
90s sci-fi movies, if not one of my favorite sci-fi movies in
Mr.
general.
Book, Mr. Hand.
Played by Robert O'Brien from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Mr. Hands?
Yeah.
Mr. Hands.
Not Mr. Hands.
Oh, Mr. Hand.
Yeah.
Different.
Same director as The Crow, correct?
Same director as The Crow.
Very weird. I've never seen
Alex
The Crow.
Proyas. You've never seen The Crow, and that's what I don't understand. I don't understand.
I'll tell you this. I will say this. I tried to start watching The Crow a few weeks ago, and my wife was like, I want to watch this with you, but I'm going to bed. So I was like,
you know what you do is you watch it and you watch it with her again. You need to see The Crow twice.
All right.
You had the soundtrack, right?
I remember the soundtrack.
So tell us about Dark City.
Didn't Alec Baldwin kill someone on that movie?
Alec Baldwin kills someone every day. Every day, another child suffers at the hands of Alec Baldwin.
Fine.
The director, Alex Proyas, I believe his name is, directed this movie called Gods of Egypt. And that movie was surprisingly awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
I never saw it because it looked like that bullshit Clash of the Titans remake bullshit.
Yeah.
Like Troy, all the shit they were making for years.
It was, but imagine that just directed by a good director.
Yeah.
Gods of Egypt?
I think that's what it was called.
It was one of those hybrid, like...
It's like that movie, that Ridley Scott movie you were
CG.
just talking about the other day.
No. That's Exodus, Gods of Egypt. Something like that.
No, this one's Gods of Egypt.
Okay, I have a real quick question. Is Ridley Scott a good director?
Yes.
I'm glad you brought that up. Let me go into the movie recap real quick.
Boom.
Ridley Scott is a fucking awesome director. What I've been watching, aside from Dark City, I've been trying to catch up on all his historic epics that are kind of dismissed in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
So the last great Ridley Scott movie, I think, recognized by like mainstream culture is Gladiator.
No. The last great Ridley Scott movie was Alien Covenant.
It didn't win Best Picture. I don't know if...
Alien Covenant is fucking awesome, Austin.
It was okay. But okay, hold on. Name 3 good Ridley Scott movies.
Okay, Black Rain, fucking Blade Runner, fucking Alien, fucking Prometheus, motherfucking Black Rain. Did I say Black Rain? I said it again because it's fucking Black Rain. Kingdom of Heaven. Dude, Ridley Scott's the shit, bro.
I like when they cut off Andy Garcia's head with a katana.
It's so good from a motorcycle. Like, what?
Ridley Scott makes James Cameron look like fucking...
I don't know what you're about to say, but it is not true.
So, okay, go ahead. Speak your piece, Austin. Then I'm going to shut you the fuck up. But speak your piece. Let's hear it.
Look, Alien, perfect film.
Mm-hmm.
Blade Runner, perfect film.
Mm-hmm.
Legend, good.
Have you ever you ever made a perfect film, Austin?
Hey, wait,
Yes.
let him finish.
Yes, I have.
Don't worry, I got this, Bobby. Let him finish.
All right. I'm
Okay.
glad we're teaming up on this. Leave me hanging.
Oh, on
Black
your side.
Rain,
Right.
good movie.
Great movie.
Gladiator doesn't hold up. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so you just named 5 incredible fucking
Incredible movies.
Mm.
And you also left out like Thelma and Louise and the fucking Martian.
Matchstick Men was pretty good.
Matchstick Man. Okay. Let me ask you a question, Bobby. Bobby, let me ask you a question,
Just because
Austin.
you're using an angry
You're so-
tone.
I know, I'm
you-
sorry. I'm sorry.
You're
I'm
so
sorry.
used to yelling
I'm
at
sorry, Bobby.
Bobby.
We're on the same side.
there's
Let
a lot
me
of
ask
mic
you a
bleeding.
question,
Lower your
Austin.
voice.
Yeah.
Is John Carpenter a good director?
Yes, because he has made.
A couple good movies.
No,
and
not
then
a couple.
He's made some dog shit. Fucking Ghost to Mars is dog shit.
My wife is
We'll-
sleeping.
We'll cover that later on, guys. Sorry, y'all.
He,
Do that
but
for
okay,
facts.
but the difference is that Alien and Blade Runner are like A plus tier movies, and the rest of them are at best
What are you talking about?
like
What the fuck are you
what
talking
to
the
B plus.
fuck are you saying?
John Carpenter has made 5 to 7 A plus
No,
movies.
listen. The bullshit you're saying about fucking Ridley Scott, you could make that same argument about John Carpenter because he made 2 or 3.
Who do you like better?
I don't want to make that argument about either of them.
Who do you like better?
Can't I just love both?
Can he just love both?
Who do you like better?
Who do you think I like better?
I know who you like.
You know who I like better.
Exactly.
But at the same time,
That's Beatles or Stone shit right there.
but at the same time, you
Who do you
know
like
what?
better?
You know what
Stones.
Ridley Scott didn't make? Village of the fucking Damned. You know what he didn't make? Prince of Darkness.
Yeah, but he made like Alexander. and,
No,
like,
no, stop. All right, here's what I watched. I watched Ridley Scott movies from the last 20 years, mostly the historical epics. So let's do it. Exodus, the 10 Commandments with Russell Crowe. It's fucking awesome.
it was
It's
it.
fucking great.
Okay.
Yes.
See, I never
That's-
saw it because I thought it was Gods of Egypt.
That's because you're
Catholic.
Catholic.
No. That would work if I was Jewish, but no. No, it's a good movie, and
Okay.
and the burning bush is played like a ghostly little boy. Like the voice of God is like a ghostly little boy.
But is there a
on the
bush
mountain.
that's on fire?
Kind of. You got to watch it. It's
Right.
like he sees the bush and then like it kind of morphs. And Oscar Isaacs is in it. Very young and skinny Oscar Isaac.
Okay.
Dude, it's awesome. So boom, boom. I'm just gonna go through these real quick. Then I
All
watched Kingdom of Heaven.
Oh yeah.
A
little slow.
little slow. Not great.
I loved the fuck out of it when it came out. I thought it was the shit, and I watched it recently. I was like, oh, this is slow.
Not great. A little slow.
Yeah.
And then I watched the Russell Crowe Robin Hood. Oh boy.
What?
Oh, boy, what?
What? Oh boy. Yeah. What are you saying?
It's a competent film.
It's not good. He's saying it's not good.
It's a competent film. It's Ridley fucking Scott.
You just said, "Oh boy," that doesn't scream competent film.
It took me a lot. It took a lot to bring myself to watch it because, like, it's Ridley Scott. And I'm on this Ridley Scott kick lately. I showed my wife Prometheus, which is awesome. Annie, like,
Prometheus
covered it.
is a masterpiece.
but like
The Last
I've
Duel.
watched a lot of Ridley
Movie's
Scott lately.
badass.
So anyway, I was like, all right, we're just gonna do Robin Hood.
2010's Robin Hood.
2010's Robin Hood. It's Russell Crowe and who's the gal in it? That one broad that everyone likes.
Claire Forlani,
No.
Love Claire
Vera
Forlani.
Farmiga.
Vera Farmington. She's
delicious
great.
gelato.
No, what's the girl's name? It's a famous actress. I can't think of her name right now because I've been drinking.
Hold on. IMDb says it's Kate Blanchett. I love Kate Blanchett.
That's Maid Marian is Kate. Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
really interesting. Okay.
Yeah. She's a very odd-looking, attractive woman.
She is.
Leonardo DiCaprio would agree.
Yeah, she is
They fucked?
Kate Blanchett is the hot Tilda Swinton.
Oh wait, no, I'm
Yes,
thinking of Kate
yes.
Winslet. Never mind.
Like if Tilda
The fuck
Swinton had a
is
hotter,
Blanchett?
younger sister,
Yeah.
it's Kate Blanchett.
Tilda Swinton and
Both
Kate
look
Blanchett.
weird. Both weird looking
Right.
people.
I always like mistook them for the same person for a while there, like in the early
Either of them. Which
early
one played?
teens when they started
both,
coming out.
They both played elves in the Lord of the Rings, right?
No, that was
Kate Blanchett is Lady Galadriel.
I think that Kate Blanchett. When I saw Kate Blanchett in that MCU movie, not even gonna bring it up. Never mind. When I saw her in that Nightmare Alley, that Guillermo del Toro movie,
Mhm.
she's fucking smart.
Okay. Okay, so
Anyways,
Kate Blanchett, Russell Crowe.
is she hot as Maid Marian?
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing. It's like so trying to be so like grimily historically accurate. Like everyone just looks like shitty peasants
Does
in this
Russell
movie.
Crowe have a British accent?
Yes.
He does.
Or an Australian, I don't know.
How does it
They all sound
relate
like
to Kevin
pirates to me.
Costner's British accent?
Oh
in-
yeah, well here's the we talked about Kevin Costner's Prince of Thieves on the last episode. Jesus Christ.
Don't bring him up.
So this
Don't
is a
bring
more
him up.
competent. This is a competent historical drama. The problem is it's fine. It's fine. I'll say that. The problem is it's called Robin Hood, and it's not Robin Hood is fun little traps and tree houses in the woods.
You watch the Disney movie The Fox, bro. Like, come on. And fucking, or Errol Flynn. Like,
Speaking of hot cartoon characters,
This
anyway,
is just a drab.
is
I've heard that too.
Smoking.
So wait a second. Let me ask you this. Hold on.
Smoking hot.
Sorry, Bobby, to hijack your movie
We're still
recap.
talking about Robin Hood here.
So is Robin Hood the fox from Disney hotter than the Ninja Turtles?
Oh,
I've heard that from multiple women as
that's
well.
hard.
Really?
I think my wife's a big Robin Hood fan.
Let him
That's
talk.
real hard. That's real
Ask
hard.
a gay man.
I mean, there are 4 Ninja Turtles.
Wow.
So
Just say Michelangelo
quantity alone
versus Robin Hood.
Oh man. Can I like be like having can I
Just
know,
don't
This
ask
is-
permission. This is the Not For Everyone podcast.
This is taking too long. Listen, Austin, you asked a second ago, is Ridley Scott a good director? I'm looking at he made Blade Runner, Alien, Legend. He made fucking Black Rain, right? He made Thelma and Louise. He made that fucking movie, White Squall and G.I. Jane and Gladiator and Hannibal and
Ooh.
Black Hawk Down and Matchstick Man and Kingdom of Heaven. Yes.
Hannibal's a
All right.
fucking terrible movie.
I will
Wasn't that
recede
bad.
my point.
He's a good- it's a good
Ridley
movie.
Scott. I just asked a question. I knew Ridley Scott was a good
Here,
director.
Okay. All right.
Austin, I
Fucking
can see.
Honey
All right,
trap.
Let's just.
motherfucker.
I'm just gonna rattle them off. I don't know. I may not account for everyone, but it's like James Cameron, Spielberg, Ridley Scott. I'm just naming like the fucking guys, right? Ridley Scott,
John Frankenhammer.
John Frankenhammer,
Heimer.
Terrence Malick,
John Frankenhammer was the porn director.
John
Yes.
Borman, William Friedkin. All right, let's just call those 8 right
No, hey, you're missing one. The guy who made the other thing.
What are we-
Wild
what are we
It doesn't,
naming?
it doesn't matter to my point.
Peckinpah.
My point is,
Peckinpah!
my point is name all those guys, right?
Okay.
I could see why someone could make the argument that Ridley Scott isn't high on that list.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
Peckinpah.
Even though I'm a huge Ridley Scott. Brian De Palma would be another on that list. Like shit like that.
Scorsese.
Joel and
etc.
Ethan Cohen.
Right. Okay.
Are you
Okay.
just fucking naming directors
I'm
now?
just
What is the
naming
point of
notable
this?
directors.
What he's saying is, out of all these people, Ridley Scott in the power ranking is lower than,
Or it could be.
be lower than, like, let's say the Coen brothers, Scorsese.
Do y'all think this is why Tony Scott killed himself? Because he was a successful director. He made Top Gun.
Tony
He
Scott
made
would be
True
on that list.
Romance, and he was still not as good as Ridley, so he jumps off a fucking bridge.
I don't know. But the point is, I love Ridley Scott and he
That's fair.
okay. But I could also see why
I was just
Austin
I
would
was just
challenge that.
I was just planting seeds.
Are you following now?
He's
Are you
stirring,
following
he's stirring
Adam?
the fuck up. I know what's going on. What did you watch for movie recap, Austin?
I watched a super special movie.
Oh God, here we go.
All right. I watched the Barbie movie and I fucking loved it.
Yeah,
Norm.
this isn't even the gayest episode of Not For Everyone podcast.
What was gayer?
They're out there.
They're out there.
So here's the thing. Here's what the listening public doesn't understand. For the last, when did that movie come out, Austin?
2 weeks ago?
The last 2 weeks, there's a group chat between the three of us and another individual who you may or may not know. And every time anybody says fucking anything, Austin's like, go see Barbie! Go see Barbie, it's so good!
In that sibilant
I
tone over
seriously,
text.
my phone actually reads text to me, and that's the voice. it uses.
Did
And
you
when-
see Barbie yet?
And I'm like, I don't
I'm
want
like,
to
why do I
see
have
it.
cum on my
And-
face every time I read this?
And Austin's like, you can't think it's a male hetero movie. You gotta like it or some shit. No, what was I don't know.
None
no,
of us is-
I never said any of that. I just said it was a hilarious movie and it's really good and you should see
And
it.
you
None
say
of
we were
us-
too
none of
macho
us-
to see it or some
No.
bullshit. You're shaming us.
No, we're not talking about that stuff. None of us has seen it though, so I can't really comment on it except for Austin.
Austin's seen it.
It
But
was
like-
great. Go see it.
But with a group chat, it's like there's one dude in here that's seen this movie. Everyone, please shut the fuck up. But you did claim that it's better than what I consider the greatest teen comedy of the last 20 years. You said it's better than Mean Girls.
I think it is better than Mean Girls.
You're
yes.
full of shit, bro.
That's
You haven't
crazy.
seen it. You haven't seen it. It is okay. Look, first off, it's directed by Greta Gerwig, written by Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach.
Am I supposed to know who Greta Gerwig is?
She's an indie darling who's makes really smart, funny movies.
She
Noah
died-
Baumbach.
she-
Do you know Noah
she-
Baumbach?
Yeah.
Greta Gerwig got killed in House of the Devil.
Okay.
She was eating pizza and then they killed her.
And who is Margot? Let's ask a gay guy real quick. Who's
Yeah.
Margot Robbie? I've seen this name a lot lately.
Wait, are you joking?
Is she the one that played Harley
She's
Quinn?
Yeah, dude.
She's
Okay.
Harley
Well,
Quinn.
she's
She's
a-
in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's
Have you ever
Nest?
seen Wolf of Wall Street,
Wolf
bro?
of Wall Street.
Yeah. I don't know these people's fucking names.
She looks like Samara Weaving.
Oh, that is the chick from Wolf of Wall Street.
Jackass. You do a fucking movie podcast. I don't know these people's names.
Anyway. Okay, yes. Margot
Yeah,
Robbie.
I mean, I don't disagree with you.
Margot Robbie.
Please
famous
make
woman.
fun of that. I don't care.
Yes. No, okay.
I
look.
thought she was like a hot up and coming lady.
No,
But
she,
I'm like, oh,
she
she's
has
in all
come. She has come.
She's in all these movies I've seen, and I should know her name, I guess.
She's been around for like a decade at least.
She's been around. She broke out in Wolf of Wall Street.
Sorry,
and
TMZ. I don't know all your wild Hollywood trivia.
I'm going to go watch Jason Takes Manhattan.
Oh God.
Oh, dude.
Definitely
Do you want
watch.
to? Do you want to?
Don't threaten me with a bad time.
Tell us about Barbie, Austin.
Anyway, Barbie, very funny. Okay, here's the deal. The supposed controversy is that it's like political. It's really not. It's just a funny, enjoyable movie with a brain, and I really liked it. And you don't have to give a single shit about Barbie, the action figure, or whatever you call those things. It's just a good movie.
Let me ask you this. I think that the Lego movie caught everyone off guard in that it was way more clever than anyone
Yes,
anticipated it
yes.
was going to be. Is Barbie kind of the
Barbie
same?
is like that taken to the next level.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I absolutely.
Adam's like literally rolling his eyes. I could
It-
hear it in my headphones through the fucking microphone.
Barbie is like the Lego movie in many respects, including it has Will Ferrell playing a cross interdimensional character.
Don't fucking spoil it for wait,
Oh
there's
my God.
cloth. there's-
All you've done the last 2 weeks, Adam, is talk about how you're not going to see that movie.
No, I just said I'm not gonna fucking go to the theater to see it.
Okay,
Yeah, I would agree with that.
all I'm saying is
I'm not going to pay $47.
take
for
the Lego
cost to go to
movie.
movies now.
take the Lego movie and what the Lego movie did for that concept, which is take a nothing concept like Legos. There's nothing there,
Mhm.
and it was a clever, great film. And I love the Lego movie. I think it's
That's
a great
What
movie.
toy franchises do we have left to make movies about?
Rainbow Bright. You said there was going to be a Rainbow Bright movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they are actually making a horror version of Barney.
What? No.
I don't like this trend.
I'm going to go see it.
I haven't seen any of them.
You're
but
gonna
it
go see
just
the
seems
Lego
gimmicky.
the Barbie.
It's a Blumhouse horror Barney movie.
It's about Barney. It's really
don't-
Barney.
It's
you
like
don't
what they
think-
did with fucking Winnie the Pooh.
Apparently, all of the children are trapped in Barney's like.
It's literally Barney. It's not like a Barney-esque character.
No, it's like they took the Barney and they were like, "What can we do with Barney?" And they're like, "Well, let's just make it a horror movie."
You still haven't
like it.
explained to me
All right, now I'm convinced.
why Barbie is
Yeah.
a good movie, Austin.
I did.
You've
I
been
said,
telling me for 2 weeks.
I said it is hilarious. It has a brain. It was written and directed by people who are very competent filmmakers.
I don't like my hot blondes to be hilarious or have a brain.
Then you're missing out.
Kidding, this funny.
Now,
Anyway.
Margot Robbie was in what now?
She played the Harley
Harley Quinn, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
She's in Wild Hogs
Wolf of Wall Street.
with Tim Allen.
Wild Hogs of Wall Street.
Wild
Yeah.
Hogs
Wild
of Wall Street 7.
So here's the thing I'll say about Barbie. I'll watch it when it comes out on whatever I can not have to get off my couch. But it made a lot more money than fucking Indiana Jones. It made a lot more money than the other fucking movie that came
What-
out.
wait,
It's,
what
it's
made more-
gonna
did
make
it-
more money than the Super Mario.
Yeah, I was going to
Brothers
say, does it
movie.
make more money than Super Mario Brothers?
Has it? It will.
Oh,
It's
what
been
are
out
you, a
for two-
fucking psychic?
I
No,
mean,
but it's been out for 2 weeks. It's made $900 million.
if Super Mario Brothers was
Yeah,
like
not
the
bad.
bar set this summer, I think.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be that difficult.
Yeah.
An equally
you know
iconic
what?
property, only done more clever.
I watched
That's exactly
I watched
what-
the Mario Brothers movie again the other day because it's on Peacock. I watched it with my kid. Ton of fun. Great movie. Loved it.
fucking
You know what's a better movie?
offensive.
Barbie.
What, did you watch the Mario Brothers movie?
Yeah.
Oh, well, good for you. What'd you think of it? You like it?
I liked it.
It's fine, right? That's
Yeah.
good.
Good. I enjoyed it. I watched it.
No, he would watch it. I believe him.
I watched it with you.
Oh, yeah, you did. didn't
I
you?
saw.
You
I
bought
saw,
me a seat on the other side of the theater. So you could sit next to me.
So you could
Remember?
sit next to strangers' children. Yeah. But then you were just really sitting next to 40-year-old nerds like yourself. So what did I watch? Oh, I didn't. Is it my turn? Is it my turn?
Sure, why not?
I didn't watch a movie, y'all. I mean, actually, I watched a lot of movies. I went to the theater a couple times. I went and saw the Haunted Mansion that Disney made. I went and saw the Meg 2 starring Jason Statham. Now I'm gonna make this quick, y'all. Haunted Mansion was fun. Jason Statham riding on a fucking jet ski, jumping over a fucking wave in slow motion, throwing a spear spike with dynamite in the face of a giant shark. Shit's awesome.
I'll watch it.
I love how Jason Statham just fully embraces his brand.
Oh yeah.
I think I said this like last episode, and you helped me. You helped me into this, Austin. Like
He's done serious roles before.
I'm a born again Jason Statham fan.
Yeah.
I've like seen the fucking light, dude.
Crank and Crank 2 are masterpieces.
Mwah.
Like, utter masterpieces.
What really started the turnaround though was the Meg, the first Meg movie. I'm like, this is just gonna be Jason Statham punching a shark in the face, and that's dumb. And then when I watched it on screen, it happened. I was like, fucking A, Jason Statham punch a shark in the face. And he did. It was badass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
So yeah, the Meg 2. But no, I've been watching a lot of
I loved the glaze over Haunted Mansion.
the what? The glaze.
Your glaze over on it's like, it's fine. Anyway, Jason Statham.
Yeah, you've seen that movie. There's this fucking
That is Eddie Murphy in it, right?
It was all right. It was all right. I had Danny DeVito in this one. But no, I've been watching a bunch of TV, a bunch of old TV. I want to know what your opinion is on this show. And it really is going to hold a lot of standing for how our relationship goes moving forward. Yeah. Have either of you ever, I'm drunk, watched The Iron Chef?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now, I'm not talking about that Bobby Flay America bullshit. I'm talking about the Japanese.
I will admit I've
Exquisite! That shit.
I will admit I've only seen the American version with Donnie Yen, right? Is that the host guy?
No, it's Mark Dacascos.
I've never seen
Mark
that,
Dacascos,
this
wow.
level of disappointment on your face, Adam.
With
Adam,
him.
When Austin said, I only seen the American
With
version.
him.
But the
Donnie
Iron
Yen.
Chef is great.
No. Austin,
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me explain something to you. So you've seen the Iron Chef on the American TV, and it was as America likes to do, like it did with The Office and fucking Star Wars. We take something that we saw in another country.
Star Wars?
Yeah. Make it all American, right? So
Yeah.
in the 90s, they made this show in Japan called Iron Chef. And the premise is this really fucking rich guy, right? He put all of his fortune into building a stadium, a kitchen stadium. And then he chose the 3 greatest chefs around the world. The greatest French cooker, the greatest Japanese cooker, and the greatest Chinese cooker.
I don't think they like to be called cookers.
Whatever. Chefs, whatever. So he dubbed these 3
Iron Cooker.
his Iron Chefs. What they do is they bring in like top chefs from like legit 5-star fucking restaurants around the world. Like those restaurants that like we wouldn't afford to go to.
We know the premise of
I've
Iron
been
Chef.
to those.
Could you
But
shut
yeah,
the
go
fuck-
ahead.
Can I finish this? So the point is, it's all Japanese. It's all dubbed like a fucking kung fu movie, right? It's fucking amazing. It's like if you cross like Street Fighter and fucking cooking.
Is this the first time you've seen Iron Chef?
No, Bobby. No.
Where can we watch the Japanese version?
You can watch it on Amazon right now. Their little freebie thing.
Ooh.
All 7 seasons are there. Now here's the great. Let me explain to the fans at home, and fuck you with that look of disgust on your face too, Bobby.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Are you high?
No.
Have you seen the Japanese Iron Fist?
Yeah.
It's pretty badass, right?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched like fucking multiple seasons. I've seen that
watched
show before.
multiple seasons. Here's what I realized.
Anything with food, I'm into.
Upon
by
my
the way.
last like 27 episodes that I've watched, they play it like pro wrestling in that there will be like factions, like heel factions, like these guys at this Chinese restaurant are sending in their specific hitman chef. Like this guy's coming in. And then after the Iron Chef like defeats 3 of them, they're like, well, I'm the head honcho. I'm going to come in and take you down. It's fucking amazing. Okay.
Yeah, we know what about Iron Chef, Adam.
Well,
maybe
no,
the
this
fans.
is-
Maybe
this
the
is
fans at
different.
home
This
don't.
is a little
Everyone's
different.
seen Iron Chef.
No, but you know what you haven't seen on the American Iron Chef? They have like battles where the main cuisine. Let me finish for the fans at home, Bobby. You so
The fans at home have seen Iron Chef.
they pick an item. There's like one special ingredient, and they have 1 hour to cook as many fantastical dishes using that one fucking ingredient, right? And so sometimes it's like, okay, tonight is rutabaga or it's cabbage. And sometimes it's like, tonight it's live turtle. And you need to take those turtles
Fuck yeah.
and cut them up alive on TV and then cook them and feed them to people in an hour.
Now, if we throw that version of a
amazing.
turtle into the Ninja Turtles question from earlier, does that change our answers?
Yes. Would you? Okay.
I will. I'm absolutely gonna watch this.
Oh, you gotta watch it. No,
This
you
sounds-
really.
This sounds great.
Listen, I know your love of like Asian cinema and stuff.
Yeah.
This is one of the best. This is
Yeah.
like top fucking tier, bro.
Did you ever watch Takeshi's Castle?
Yes, this is like
okay.
Takeshi's Castle
All right,
level
all
shit.
right.
This is I saw it as extreme elimination
Sure,
challenge, right?
sure.
Yeah. But it's like that. This is like the same level of Japanese Ninja Warrior, you know?
Okay.
Did you ever watch the old Ninja Warrior?
Yeah.
Oh, that shit's so
I've
fucking
seen
good.
everything you guys are talking about.
Right, and it's all so good.
And I don't like Japanese things.
So yeah, listen, yeah.
But everything
Listen.
you're naming is badass.
And every time it's so great. Like, okay, so the dubbing on the Japanese show, it's like they're looking at the people's ingredients, like, okay, this is what's here, this is what's here. And so the people that are reading it in English, like they're actors, but they like had to listen to what it's crazy. It blows my mind. It's good. So watch Iron Chef.
My
y'all.
wife is
Awesome.
sleeping, Adam.
I know.
Fucking.
It's the whiskey. I haven't had whiskey in like a week.
Be sure and
Excited.
please drive home.
Please Not please drive home
But please
safely. Just get out of my house.
Please drive home
home.
after you finish that whiskey.
Yeah.
Any more movie recaps?
I did want to talk about a movie called Joyride that came out recently, which is a movie about 4 women of Asian descent who go to China, and it is a raunchy comedy that was.
Is it the Joyride Luck Club?
It is not, although that's pretty good.
Is this a sequel?
It was one of the raunchiest comedies I've seen in a really long time. And
Is it actually Asian cinema?
No. It's
Just has Asians in it.
yes, and it is really fucking funny, and it's really, really raunchy and dirty, and it's great.
Listen, I got one more movie recap.
All right.
One more, and then we're done.
It's
You got
gonna be-
anything, you got anything else, Bobby?
No.
Okay. So this is gonna be a little long and drawn out. It has to do with the movie that we watched today. Don't look at the fucking time like we're running out of
No, it's
time.
fine.
Okay. So there was a show that came out 20 years ago on the Adult Swim. I know I've talked to you both about it. You're like, yeah, I've seen episode 2 and it's fine. Maybe the best show ever made was canceled a couple years ago. It's a little show called The Venture Brothers. Now, we're covering a movie called Mystery Men tonight, which is about lame-ass superheroes. And I get what they were trying to do, you know? The Venture Brothers took that and they did it just, so much better. So they recently came out with a movie. There's a movie out of the Venture Brothers now. This is an actual movie recap because there's a new movie of it. It's called Radiant is the Blood of the Baboon Heart.
That's the name of the movie.
That's the name of the Venture Brothers
It's not Venture Brothers :
The movie.
No, it's called Radiant is the Blood of the Baboon Heart.
They don't
Wow.
even. Is it say a Venture Brothers movie?
I mean, it's just a Venture Brothers episode.
I'm gonna look this up.
So, anywho, the Venture Brothers. Let me kind of explain to you what the Venture Brothers is. How do I start? So, I started seeing this when it first came out, like 2003, on Adult Swim. I was addicted to that shit. And this show was a knockoff of Johnny Quest. You remember Johnny Quest, right?
Yeah.
But as it went on, it became like a parody of just superheroes and everything of that nerd pop culture shit that I'm into. Like David Bowie is the head of an evil supervillain organization in this show. I mean, it's amazing. Like I would argue to say, and both of you are just totally tuned out. Neither even fucking looking at me,
Dude,
even paying attention
I-
to
no,
me.
I'm
Called
looking-
The Venture Brothers.
This is what I was asking. Radiant is the blood of the baboon heart. Okay.
So you're
Radiant.
Adam. You're not a fan. You don't know the name of the movie.
I fucking watched it 3 times since it came out in the last 2 weeks,
My
asshole.
wife is sleeping. Lower your voice.
So anywho, I would listen. I'm looking you dead in the eyes. I would argue to say that the Venture Brothers is the best long form storytelling ever done in the animated medium.
I'm down. Is it?
Have you
Where
seen
can I watch it? Where
Steamboat
can I watch
Willie?
this?
It's on HBO Max, but they're taking it off Max. It's on Hulu. It's on Hulu.
Okay.
You gotta watch it from the very beginning. Like
Okay.
for new fans, if somebody came in and watched Radiant is the Blood of the Baboon Heart, they would have no fucking
It's
clue.
The Venture Brothers rating.
They have no clue what it was about. It makes no sense. It's basically season 8. It like starts off where the last season ended.
So it's like they canceled it it's the whole canceled, but then you get a
Like
movie.
what they did
Right.
with fucking Serenity and Firefly.
Well, what it was is they already had like season 8 planned out, and then Adult Swim were like, no, we want to make 18 seasons of Rick and Morty. But then we're going to fire the guy who does Rick and Morty because he was accused of being a rapist. But then he gets proved he's not a rapist, but we're not going to hire him back. That's what Adult Swim wants to spend their money on. Instead of the fucking Venture Brothers, which is the best show
so
ever.
you like the Venture Brothers?
I like it.
I will say that, Adam, multiple people have recommended that show to me for the last at least decade of my life.
There's
I mean, I've seen like
and you remind me of it at least once a month.
Yeah.
I've seen many episodes. It's great.
There's a fight on the top of like it's like a spaceship. It's like a jet, like a flying, like imagine like an army, like bad guy G.I. Joe jet, right? In a canyon, in the Grand Canyon. And on top of this fucking, this spaceship, there's like a guy with invisible limbs fighting Iggy Pop. Like literally fucking Iggy Pop he fights in the Venture Brothers.
It sounds kind of like, you know what I loved was the Mike Tyson cartoon show.
It's better than that.
It was all Hanna-Barbera style, but absurdist comedy.
Yeah. Mike Tyson's Mysteries. It's a great show.
That's a great fucking show.
Venture Brothers is exponentially better than that.
You had me at best long form animated show or just show period, because one of my things is that I don't actually believe there's a single TV show that's ever really stuck the landing. And
This is it.
This is it. Okay.
This
Like,
is it.
like you mean finished off the
Finished. Okay, so The Good Place is the only show that I thought ended
That's an interesting
better
question.
than it started.
I'll say this, with this ending that they gave it, like it's kind of a forced ending.
Yeah.
They could do more. I pray there's more someday, because that show took 20 years to make 7 episodes or 7
But
seasons.
usually like a show
20
like
years.
Archer, hilarious, but then after like 5 seasons I was like, it's
Or like
Right. And so here's the difference between something like the Venture Brothers and an Archer or a Rick and Morty,
Harvey
right? Like
Birdman.
or Harvey Birdman's brilliant, but they only made like 3 seasons. They made like, there's like 40 episodes of Harvey Birdman in total.
Coast to coast, ghost to ghost, coast to coast.
Space Ghost.
Space ghost, coast to coast.
Let
Say
me
that
finish
5
my
times
point.
fast.
This is all genius stuff. But the Venture Brothers, they like took their time. It was like 3 years between each season.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's not like let's just push it all out.
Right.
It's all written by 2 guys. Literally 90% of the voices on the show are the 2 guys that write it.
Yeah.
So it's I'm coming my jeans right now. I watched a movie. I rewatched a movie.
Is there another movie coming up on this movie recap?
I started watching the Venture Brothers from the beginning again for like the 8th time and watched it all the way through and watched the movie again. Finished it yesterday.
I'll give it a watch.
Go Team Venture!
Venture.
You
And
happy?
that was movie recap.
Movie recap!
This summer has been absolutely, unbearably, miserably hot. It has been like jumping into a pool of lava. It has been like soaking your shorts in habanero sauce or skinny dipping with Satan in Hades Town. It has been miserable. I am ready for cooler weather. I hope y'all are too. Autumn is one of my favorite seasons, not just because of the nicer temperatures, but because it is spooky season. We get opportunities to experience aliens and ghosts, interdimensional beings. The veil between the living and dead is at its thinnest. This is peak time for these types of experiences. I know I'm not the only one that travels this road of the unexplainable. I know you all have stories because you guys shared them last year. We want to hear more stories. We want to hear about these experiences again. Send them to the Not For Everyone podcast on Instagram Messenger or notforeveryone17@gmail.com. Please send in your stories, whether they are text or audio files. We want to hear those stories, and I look forward to hearing them on the Not For Everyone podcast, which is available wherever podcasts. I can't even talk. Oh my gosh, I think I'm being possessed.
You know the big hen from Robin Hood.
Yeah, but I gotta look. She was like a nun or something,
You need
right?
something
No,
for the
she was
spank
like
bank
she
later.
was made Marion's like house. She was made Marion's maid.
Yeah, but she had like she was like her like she tried to keep her.
She was like Phyllis from The Office.
Yeah, she was fucking smoking.
The big hen from Robin Hood. Was
Yeah,
smoking hot.
yeah. I mean,
She's playing badminton, and you're just like,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You can smack my little fluffy ball around.
My shuttlecock.
A shuttlecock. That's the word I was looking for. Okay, are we done with all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is the Summer Flopbuster surprise episode where we switch gears and moved to celebrate the great Paul Reubens and
Yes.
cover the film from 1990, 2000, what is it?
99.
99's, which I got a whole tangent about 1999 coming up.
Can't wait.
Mystery Men. But first, let's just reflect and respect on Paul Reubens.
Paul Reubens. I'll just say this.
Say a few words.
He was the Penguin's father in the best Batman movie ever fucking made. He was in the best Batman movie ever made. You know? Enough said.
He was in the best Pee Wee movie ever made.
That's true.
He was in all the Pee Wee movies ever made.
Pee Wee was a phenomenon.
Something
Pee Wee
like
was
a
like
phenomenon.
Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
Pee Wee was my very first fandom where I was into Pee Wee before Star Wars or Ghostbusters or any of that shit.
Right.
And it was like enormous.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't remember seeing Pee Wee's Big Adventure in the theater, but I do remember seeing Big Top Pee Wee and be like, nah, right. Even at like the ripe age of 4.
Kind of a weird movie.
Yeah, I had the pull string guy. My drunk dad would always say, Bobby, come here and do the Pee Wee. And we played tequila. And I do a little dance. And shit.
Wow. Yeah.
The whole 9 yards. And I was watching an episode of Full House today.
What? You know what? Just carry on. I'm not even going to.
I was watching an episode of Full House today, season 2. So it was like 1988.
When it really got good.
When did
you know?
when did Pee Wee's Playhouse? When was that popular?
84, 85.
Well, okay, so it'd been a few years. The point is, on this episode of Full House, they even reference Joey accidentally tapes over Uncle Jesse's Elvis video with an episode of Pee Wee's Playhouse. So it was like a recognizable, amazing, wonderful, celebrated thing in that time period.
Wait a second. Okay. You were really watching Full House today, Bobby?
Yeah.
Fucking why? Can I ask that? Can I ask why I get I have to hard sell you on the Venture Brothers, but you're fucking watching Full House?
Yeah. Is that not all right?
No defense necessary.
I mean, he's never seen The Crow, but he's watching Full House. He does a fucking horror movie podcast. Okay. It's cool.
When you're lost out there and you're all alone, light is waiting.
Is that the one with Mona?
That's Who's the Boss.
Oh.
During the pandemic at the beginning of 2020, I watched pretty much all of Family Ties.
Family Ties.
Yeah.
Dude.
I like things that remind me of simpler times.
I don't know. I mean, I loved fucking Happy Days.
We're going
back
to talk
in the
about
day.
Paul Reubens.
I'm not going to watch
your
it now.
boomer ass shows from the 70s.
All right. Oh, okay. Actually came out in the
Let me
80s.
tell you about Dick Van Dyke. See, that was real comedy.
You definitely started it with the Full House thing. I guess it did. No, it had a Paul Reubens tie-in. Okay.
Yeah, it had that was my whole point, and then Homeboy had to fucking naysay again.
Listen, Paul Reubens was probably on Happy Days, okay?
Probably.
So, okay, here's what I like about Paul Reubens. He is one of those people who's like a chameleon actor who, in Pee Wee, the thing is, you think of Paul Reubens and you think of Pee Wee, right? But Paul Reubens he was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
He was great in Buffy the Vampire
Plays
Slayer.
a completely different character. He's in Mystery Men, plays a completely different character. He's like a chameleon, right?
Earlier today, I actually watched, but fell asleep to Back to the Beach, starring Frankie Avalon and Annette from the Mouseketeers from the
Was
beach.
Pee Wee Herman in that?
Yeah. He's in it doing a version of Surfing Bird. That's like
Was he as Pee Wee or was it Paul
as
Reubens?
Pee Wee?
Oh, okay, gotcha.
As Pee Wee.
Wait, when was this made?
Like 87.
And this had who in it?
Annette
It's like a
Funicello.
throwback to the fucking beach blanket bingo shit from the 60s.
Huh.
They did one in the 80s where they're all grown up and they have kids, but they're going back to the beach to party. And Bob Denver's in it.
John Denver?
No, Bob Denver from Gilligan's Island.
Oh,
And the Skipper.
Gilligan, yeah.
So they do anything that's beach related, I guess. But then Pee Wee does a dance number. My point is, Pee Wee was like Austin was saying, he was a chameleon and he would just kind of show up in things,
He was in two Cheech and Chong movies.
Yeah.
He's in the fucking Blues Brothers.
He was pals with Elvira. I think they collaborated quite a bit.
And I think he's kind of like an unlikely phenomenon.
I think he's a groundling. Came from the ground.
Like you talk about him being a phenomena, but like why Pee-wee? Pee-wee's such a weird character for everyone to just basically be like, we love Pee-wee. And there's and when you look at it from like 10,000 feet, you're like, why? But
like,
but
how
there's no
does this make
question.
sense? Yeah.
There's no question. The charisma is there.
It was
like in space.
It was so uniquely bizarre.
Yeah.
Like I always tell you, and Adam for that matter, I'm like, all I want is interesting, good, bad, anything. I just want interesting. And there's nothing like I can't be like, oh yeah, Pee-wee's style comes from this,
right?
Or
because he's not a man, but he's not a boy.
It's like part John Waters meets like Tim Burton. Yeah, it is my favorite Tim Burton movie. Is Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
Yeah,
always has been.
Really? Okay.
Is that okay with
you?
Adam? Are you gonna
Bobby,
talk shit?
You're allowed to have your own opinion.
Let me tell you, it's your problem.
It's fine. It's fine. You can like Pee-wee the best. My favorite Tim Burton movie.
I like Big Fish. What?
Also has Paul Reubens in it. It's called Batman Returns.
Right, that's fine.
Fine.
That's fine.
And I remember in Buffy the Vampire Slayer when he dies, and there's a post-credit scene.
Oh,
where you remember where he's like, I mean, it slayed me as a 10-year-old. That is the main thing
I remember from fucking Buffy the Vampire Slayer the movie is Paul Reubens dying.
Yeah, I have a hot take, which is I like the Buffy the Vampire Slayer way better, the movie way better than the show.
Fuck yeah, that show was terrible.
Of course,
but you say that around certain people, you will get murdered.
Yeah, the movie had Rutger Hauer and Pee Wee Herman. And come on, it's better than Sarah Michelle Gellar.
I think I think the thing about Paul Reubens is that he is like this character. He's almost like a proto Bart Simpson, where Pee-wee is like smarmy and sassy and like, but also like really independent.
I know you are, but what am I?
Exactly, like so independent, but like not an idiot. Yeah. He's like a man child, but not played in this way where it's like, oh, I'm stupid. No, Pee-wee's like smart and resourceful and independent and clever and all these things.
He makes those cool Rube Goldberg machines
to make him
breakfast in the morning. He has a dog named Speck. What?
Do you think maybe that's why there's like so many man children now because of Pee Wee Herman?
I mean,
it's a whole generation.
Say that's not a contributing factor.
I will credit Pee Wee Herman for me being a man child.
Right, there's a whole generation of us. Like we don't have to be like idiots, but we can be man children.
I remember my sister making fun of me when I was like in middle school because I'm like, I just want to work at a comic book store when I grow up.
Right.
She's like, you can't fucking do that. I was like, well, someone's making a living doing it. That was my whole thing. Is like it's kind of a man-child mentality, right?
Mm-hmm. It's stuck with you your whole life.
No offense to people that work at comic book stores. I'm just saying that happened.
I mean, we're jealous. We want to work at fucking comic stores.
Fun trivia fact is that the dog from Pee-wee's Big Adventure is Precious the dog from Silence of the Lambs. Yes. Look it up right now.
Speck the
Not
dog?
Speck.
The other dog.
The one that he falls in love with at the end.
Yes. And what's the name from the Burbs?
Precious is
Batman Returns as well.
Is the Meryl Streep of dog.
Really?
What's that dog's name?
I didn't know that.
The dog is like a famous dog.
It's the famous dog. Yeah.
The Burbs, Silence of the Lambs, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Batman Returns.
Really?
I know this is not a podcast about Silence of the Lambs, but there is a scene in Silence of the Lambs where Precious the dog. Buffalo Bill's like yelling at the lady in the well, and then Precious just goes, meh! And like it's so perfectly timed, and there's no way you could coach a dog.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
To act that way, but that dog knew. That dog knew, like, this is my moment. I have a line.
Or they had like 100 takes, and the editor was really good.
Maybe, but I want to believe that dog was actually a good actor.
Good ass.
I mean, the filmography for the dog, whose name was Darla.
Yeah, let's do this.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Boom.
The Burbs.
Banger.
Silence of the Lambs.
Banger.
Batman Returns.
Banger.
Like, goddamn.
That's like my childhood
that
in
is
4 movies.
Better filmography than Ridley Scott right there.
Wow. Whoa! Gotta put on the captain's hat.
shit! He needs the captain's hat for that one.
Gotta take control of the ship again. Put on the captain's
Get
hat.
the ship back under back where we're going.
So shall we talk about the movie of the night?
Well, one more thing
Yeah.
about Paul Reuben. Paul Reuben, I just want to point out, is so much more than just Pee-wee, too. Because I
Right.
remember seeing him in Blow and being like, holy shit. But my point is he's fantastic. That he's like an all-around good actor. He did get kind of, I wouldn't call it even typecast. It's just his most successful role is Pee-wee.
and this is what I'm saying is like when you watch him, you know you're primed to think, oh, it's Pee-wee, but he delivers such
Yeah.
a different role every time that you have to give the man credit for being a virtuoso.
He's pure talent.
Who probably, had it not been for Pee-wee, might have been someone like Brad Dourif, for example, like
or like Daniel Day-Lewis.
or Daniel Day-Lewis, sure.
Daniel
no,
Radcliffe.
but someone
We're just naming people here.
I bring up Brad Dourif because Brad
Fritz
Dourif
Lang.
Yeah, Fritz Lang.
Brad Dourif is one of those guys who's in a bunch of amazing films, who is amazing in all the films he's in.
Yeah.
But he didn't have like a Pee-wee.
Yeah.
And so
I
you
would
don't
love to
compare
see
him.
a multiverse Brad Dourif's Pee-wee.
Brad Dourif's Pee-wee is Chucky, though, right?
Brad Dourif's Pee-wee
Brad
is Chucky.
Dourif does have a Pee-wee.
That-
It's Chucky.
you know what? You're right. You're right.
Holy shit. Brad Dourif
Wow.
and Paul Reubens are like,
It's even the same time period.
Wow.
I bet
Totally.
Brad's sad.
Mind blown.
Brad's
and,
sad these
and
days
I
after
would,
that.
but to your point, I would say that yes, the role of Chucky gets upstaged. His career gets upstaged by Chucky the same way
Right.
that Paul Rubens' career gets upstaged by Pee-wee.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Brad Dourif was nominated for a fucking Academy Award for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's
Yeah.
Nest. He's an amazing.
He's an amazing actor.
Exorcist 3 is some of the best acting I can think. If I was like rattling off best performances just off the top of my head, like Exorcist 3 is right up there.
Oh yeah, George C. Scott and Brad Dourif going toe to toe.
But that's
masterwork.
but even though the point you were making doesn't seem to ring true because Chucky is the Pee-wee of Brad
No,
Dourif.
you're right. It's the same idea. I guess what I'm saying is in an alternate universe where Paul Reubens was not Pee-wee.
in an alternate universe where Paul Reubens was Chucky and Brad Dourif was
Ooh,
Pee-wee.
that would work.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
I want to go to that fucking
That would,
universe.
yeah, that would be
Chucky's
amazing.
like, and
No,
starts
no.
stabbing.
Chucky's just
that would be so
no. Pee-wee Herman's just doing a Jack Nicholson impression.
good. Yeah.
Hey, don't say that about Dourif's performance.
No, it's a great one. Don't get me wrong.
You know what else
Chucky
Pee-wee
is
was in,
def-
y'all? Dunstan Chuck's in.
Oh yeah, love that. I love a monkey movie from the 90s. Ed, Monkey Trouble,
Uh,
Dunstan checks in.
Dunstan is an ape.
Okay. Right.
Just making
I don't want
that
to
very
get
clear.
kicked off YouTube.
Okay.
All right.
Apes are not monkeys.
Come on, Captain's Hat. Bring it in, all right? Get the fucking
All right.
boat sailing.
That's our tribute to Paul Reubens.
We love you,
We
Paul.
love you. We ate Reubens in honor of Paul Reubens.
We ate Reuben sandwiches tonight.
in honor. We ate his flesh.
We ate the flesh of his flesh.
It transubstantiated into our stomach, and now we are all Paul Reubens.
I'm
We're
trying to
all
think,
Paul.
what would be the blood
We're
of Paul
all
Reubens
Paul.
if Paul Reubens was at the Last Supper?
Tequila.
I guess it'd be tequila. I feel like there's like a weird liquid in that movie, right? There's people are drinking something. It would be that black gum that
Yes.
Francis eats.
Yes.
That's the blood of Pee-wee.
Oh, the black gum.
Oh,
Yeah.
trick gum.
Yeah, it's good. Francis
Spearmint
loves that
or
shit.
fruit? Fruit, please.
God, that movie's so good.
It's so good.
I
And-
thought
and
for
even-
years. I lived in New Braunfels. I lived right outside San Antonio. I thought there was a basement in the Alamo.
The first time I watched that movie, we're talking about Pee-wee's Big Adventure, right?
Mm.
The first time I watched that movie as an adult, like I was like, oh, this is still fucking great. Holds up. But I actually did like the scene where he's leaving the motorcycle bar and he runs the motorcycle into that sign.
Yeah.
Like I belly laughed hard
Yeah.
at that.
Okay, so this brings up a point. Is Pee-wee one of the first movies that's meant for kids, but adults like it on a level that's above the kids liking it?
I think that it's a John Waters movie for children.
Yeah.
But
you see what I'm at? Like,
no,
it's
because
like,
like the Muppets did that too.
I guess you're right.
Yeah,
you're
I don't know if
right.
it was the first.
But
Not the first, but it definitely
it's
is
the
in
most
that category.
bizarre of that kind of stuff.
Pee-wee's Playhouse and Lawrence Fishburne and goddamn Bill Hartman on there. I mean, it was amazing. It's amazing. Cowboy Curtis was fucking Larry Fishburne.
And that was our tribute to Paul Reubens on the Not For Everyone podcast. But the tribute continues
Mecca lecca hi, mecca hiney ho.
with talking about the 1999 movies that Paul Reubens is displaying called Mystery Men. Adam, take it away.
A group of inept superheroes must try to save the day when a supervillain, Casanova Frankenstein, threatens to destroy a major superhero and a city.
A place called Champion City. The forces of good and evil
Captain Amazing, what a surprise.
are about to collide.
Well, we've always been each other's greatest nemesises. Nemesis.
Nemesis.
Now, with the city's one true hero missing,
Captain Amazing is in danger.
Kaboom.
who will step forward
You again. Wannabes.
to answer the call of justice?
Don't mess with the volcano, my man, because I will go Pompeii on your butt.
Oh, golly.
They've been waiting for this moment
The city's in peril, Lucille.
all of their lives.
Butch needs his vest back.
Well, it's my vest, too. I bought it for him.
But now that their time has come,
I'm a superhero, too.
What's his power?
they're going to need all the help they can get.
We gotta find a lot of superheroes really quickly. State your name and power.
PMS Avenger. I only work 4 days a month. Is there a problem with that?
No. I am the Waffler. Waffle Man!
Am I too late to try out?
Sorry.
You're in.
Wow, my first mission, and we're gonna rescue Captain Amazing. Here we go.
Universal Pictures presents
We need to talk about your plans.
I'm going to kill you.
Right, that's the part that really doesn't work for me.
a new league of heroes that step to a different beat.
Well, I am a ticking time bomb of fury.
I don't find you threatening at all.
Let's do some carnage.
We're not your classic heroes. We're the other guys.
Mystery Men.
I'm invisible. Can you see me?
Yes.
Wow.
Maybe you should put some shorts on or something if you want to keep fighting evil today.
1999's Mystery Men.
1999's Mystery Men on the Not For Everyone podcast. We're talking Paul Reubens this evening. Now, this is the summer flopbuster themed summer of 2023. And accidentally, Paul Reubens died. Accidentally, someone said, let's watch Mystery Men. Accidentally laughed a few times. That's all I had to say.
A few times.
So, talk to me about the flop lore with this one.
So to consecrate a flop, or constitute a flop, I should say, you got to spend a lot of money and then not make that money back.
Right.
And that's exactly what Mystery Men did.
This was a $70 million movie when that was a fuck ton of money.
There's a lot of money spent.
They netted what? Or they made
30 million, yeah. So this
30
is
back.
a legit flop.
This movie, I think it's worth pointing out. You've seen it a few times.
Mhm.
You've watched it pretty regularly. Tonight was the first time I've seen this movie because I've always thought it looked dumb as fuck. Like, this is not my
Is
cup
there
of
a
tea.
reason? Do you think that thinking it looked dumb as fuck was justified after watching it, Bobby?
Yeah, I think my gut was correct, actually. However, there's a lot to love about this movie. So as much as it was a flop, I understand why it was, but it does have a cult following, and I understand why that is as well.
Sure.
I'm not on either team at the same time.
I think we were talking about this earlier. I think the best way to sum it up, this is a 2-hour plus movie, and it could have been a tight 90.
Oh.
And it probably would have been a better movie. And I don't think there was anything. I think there's a great movie within this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they needed a scene or two to tie it together. Everything had an arc. It had a plot. It just needed to be tighter.
Okay. So I'm not asking you guys to go into scene for scene, but like generally speaking, like what is this movie about and what is it trying to do?
So it is about a group of want-to-be superheroes who all kind of suck at their superpowers, which are not actually superpowers at all. And the
debatable.
The actual superhero of the city gets captured and
Greg Kinnear.
Casanova
by
Frankenstein.
Casanova Frankenstein. and they have to go rescue him. And in doing so, they have to actually learn how to become real good superheroes.
Great concept.
Great concept.
Great concept. And like I was telling you guys outside, like a lot of people like to claim that like you can't really do much more with comics after Frank Miller and Alan Moore. Like they took that genre to where it could go.
Comics after them suck.
Obviously, these people have never seen the Venture Brothers.
Well, obviously these people have never seen Mystery Men because because it's great. No, but my point is like that being claimed, whether you agree with it or not, like they definitely took the almost in the same way Scream does with the slasher. They do the kind of weird, tropey, self-aware stuff with the comic book genre and make it a comedy.
Yeah. And I'd argue at the time it came out, and because I watched this a lot when it came out, and I don't think there was anything quite like it, and maybe that's why I liked it so much then. And then watching it now, this concept of like the meta comic book movie has been explored so much that this was like not the greatest interpretation.
Yeah, it was new at the time though.
Yeah.
This was before The Boys.
Right.
And I get a lot of boys like The Boys people saw fucking Mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah, so listen, this movie is so fucking weird, and it's weird in a lot of levels. And what I mean by that is I'm like, Ben Stiller is in it, and this was like the peak of Ben Stiller's fame.
Oh yeah.
And we have like Janine Garofalo, and then we have like fucking great actors like William H. Macy.
Greg Kinnear.
Greg fucking Kinnear.
All Oscar at least nominees, I think.
Jeffrey Rush.
Yeah.
I think is an Oscar winner. This was Jeffrey Rush's first Hollywood movie, by the way.
What?
Now, the funny thing about this, yes, I just read that on Wikipedia.
Wow.
The director of it, the guy who directed this movie, what's his name? Let me read it.
What other movies did he direct, Adam?
Absolutely nothing. But he did make those Got Milk commercials and the Taco Bell commercials with the Chihuahua in the 90s.
Throwing back
Classic.
to my original claim earlier on the episode, this is one of the most 90s movies ever. It represents...
Aside from like Romy and Michelle's.
Oh, that's a good one too.
That's a good one.
I watched that recently.
Great.
Okay, I thought you were about to start talking smack about Romy and Michelle.
No.
Oh, I fucking love Romy and Michelle. What are you talking about?
Romy and Michelle is a
I
masterpiece.
can't decide between them, to be honest.
Right.
I love them both.
They're great. So, it's better than Mystery Men. So, it's so confusing to me. Like, the director's name is Kinka Usher. And Kinka Usher only directed commercials. This was the only movie.
That is a common thing, though. Like, Dave Fincher was a commercial director.
Yes, but Dave Fincher went on to make other movies.
But they gave this guy a
he didn't
lot.
make Mystery Men.
They gave this guy a lot of star power, though, right? Like, what's big right now? The Taco Bell Chihuahua. Give that guy a fucking movie with Ben Stiller and William H. Macy and Greg Kinnear.
But this is what I was saying.
It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
And
it's a very 90s decision.
I don't think
they
you'll
drank a lot of
disagree with
Surge.
You know, the only way to make that movie more 90s is to add a Smash Mouth song in it twice.
Oh, man.
Austin, make your point, and then I have a question for you.
I don't think you'll disagree with this. I think it actually looked fantastic.
It looked good.
Oh, yeah.
It looked
great. So the director, maybe he didn't have the pacing and all that kind of aspect of direction down, but visually it really looked great for being a late 90s
I thought
movie.
the pacing was fine. I thought it was a little long.
Yeah.
But the pacing, it's a very competent movie. The problem is it's like not that funny. I guess is the phrase I'm looking for.
There is that.
It's just not that funny.
It had hidden
but
misses.
it definitely has some seriously comic top tier shit. But the sum of its parts is not that funny.
I agree. Oh, I will say I laughed a lot during that movie, and then I didn't laugh a lot during that movie.
Right.
Like there were so many jokes that just didn't land at all.
They tried a lot of
Ugh.
jokes, but the majority of the bad jokes and the majority of the bad of this movie, I hate to say it, is Ben Stiller. He really, it's just a really bad performance. I don't like his character at all.
So
he gets the girl at the end. I'm like, that dude should not get a girl that hot because fuck that guy.
The funniest part of the whole movie was Paul Rubens farting in people's faces.
That's a great single blurb Rotten Tomatoes review you just gave there, Austin. The funniest part of the movie is Paul Rubens farting.
So
if you're into that being the funniest part of a movie, fucking Mystery Men is top notch
for you.
Nah, I mean, listen, I love guys getting farted on, and it can be funny if it's done right. But I wouldn't say like I would. Okay, if I watch Mystery again,
that can't be the whole movie.
I'd rather we did what Austin and I were describing earlier. As we're watching this movie, Austin just keeps saying, "That's another minute and a half we could cut from this movie."
Yeah.
I want to see the tight 90 cut of Mystery.
Yeah, if you put this in like Final Cut Pro and just said like, "Hey, truncate
Ben Stiller,"
or just truncate not funny jokes.
Okay, so
we could easily cut it to like an hour and 20.
A perfect example. There's a 2-minute gag where Ben Stiller's trying to get on his motorcycle and start his motorcycle. It won't start. It starts, and then he goes, "Oh, my testicles." And what I just said was way funnier.
That's brilliant.
That's pretty funny when he said it.
Yeah, that's a good joke.
What I said, though, was way funnier than the execution of that. That was 2 minutes of the movie that could have just been lopped right out.
In a 2 hour
Here we
and
are
1 minute
celebrating
movie.
that moment of that movie.
Yeah.
And he's acknowledging it. The joke could have been funnier if like somebody else did it. Or just it wasn't there at all. The joke would have been funnier if it wasn't there at all.
It wasn't a joke.
Would we say that Ben Stiller is phoning it in on this one?
I don't think he's phoning it in.
Maybe not phoning it in, but he's riding his success of the time.
Yes. They're just like, Ben Stiller is funny, and he'll be funny in this.
Because he's Ben Stiller.
He's Ben Stiller. But the problem is, to allude to your point, Adam, he's just a piece of shit. The whole movie, he's just
a terrible
this asshole.
character. He's an unlikable
and so
character.
it's like it kind of, you start to realize like you kind of have to like the person to find them funny. Like if they're just an asshole and they're making jokes, you're like, you're just an asshole.
Well, yeah, Ben Stiller is your lead, and he is the biggest. I wouldn't say necessarily. He's the biggest box office draw of the time for this movie, I would say. Like people aren't be like, "Oh, William, I gotta go see that new William H. Macy."
No, it was Stiller.
It was Stiller. So, that said, like it does need to be a Ben Stiller performance, but like a likable Ben Stiller character.
Right.
You can't just be like arbitrarily. Like, it's got.
Here's the thing. Okay, so this movie was announced in 97, and apparently in 1997 they announced like in Hollywood like 30 comic book movies. Like they wanted to just.
That was like the Nicolas Cage Superman era.
Superman Lives, Fantastic Four movie, Blade, a fucking Hellboy movie, Green Hornet movie, all this
Which
shit.
all happened in the next couple years.
A lot of it did, right? And so this was announced at that time when it was like, okay, let's fucking hop on the superhero dick. And then Danny DeVito was originally in talks to star and direct. He fell through. And then Ben Stiller was in talks to fucking write and direct. And then he fell through. And then they hired the Taco Bell Chihuahua guy.
Brilliant choice.
But they got Ben Stiller back in.
Where would you go after Ben Stiller, honestly?
And from, as they say, from what they say, like, he just let Ben Stiller and Janine Garofalo like kind of create their own fucking characters.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because one of the things I noticed watching is like a lot of scenes feel like they were just like almost like what they do with like Anchorman or even like Smoking the Bandit. They're like, just start rolling and have funny people say funny things.
Right. So goddamn is Anchorman funny?
Or
it's fucking hilarious.
Talladega Nights. Well, that's what happens when it's fucking
when you have funny people.
Not. I mean, God bless Hank Azaria and.
You unlocked what the problem with this movie is. Each character individually has an arc, but there is no chemistry between the characters. They don't have a connection.
No.
It's like, why
awkward.
are these people all together? They wouldn't like each other. They wouldn't be around each other. William H. Macy's character wouldn't be the kind of guy who would be associating with Ben Stiller's character. You've unlocked the problem with this movie.
Okay, let's take a moment. I think you're onto something there. Let's introduce the roster of the Mystery Men.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll start with the main hero, Ben Stiller. Now his name is Mr. Furious, or his real name is Roy. And Roy just gets mad, and he's like, "I'm Ben Stiller, and I'm mad," and he doesn't really do anything. Yes.
On paper, that sounds actually pretty hilarious.
It sounds really fucking funny.
It's so stupid.
Uh-huh.
And like, but who would be cast for this? Oh, Ben
Stiller. Right. It's like, Ben Stiller, be angry.
He's just like an angry cunt.
Yeah. And so
that's his superpower.
The other guy, the real star of the movie, the real hero of this movie,
Cisco.
William H. Macy plays the shoveler. And he's William H. Macy. He has a shovel, spins a shovel around, beats people with a shovel, lives with a hard hat with a light on it. He's married to a beautiful black woman played by
Jennifer Lewis.
Yep.
Ooh.
And she's smoking hot, got a bunch of half black kids, and he's like a regular guy. The other guy, the three trio that starts with is Hank Azaria, who you might know is like half the voice in The Simpsons. He plays the Blue Raja. Bobby, your hands up.
Love Hank Azaria. his character in this movie, easily my least favorite.
It's pretty terrible, right?
I liked his character.
No, you're
The
gay.
least favorite character.
Do the Apu voice. Why didn't he
You're
do
right.
the
You're right.
Why didn't he do the Apu voice?
Look, the worst character in this movie is Ben Stiller by far.
Yeah, Ben Stiller's definitely the worst.
Yeah, obviously.
Ben
That goes without saying.
Next to Ben Stiller.
Next to Ben Stiller, like my
No. Hank Azaria's cool. He's like some dude that lives with his mom, but he dresses like he's
like a turn of the century Indian Raha
Mystic.
He dresses like a British guy in India at the turn of the century when they were like colonizing. But he throws forks. He throws silverware, right? That's his thing.
That's kind of, I mean, I could see, again, a lot of these ideas are really funny in a writer's room.
I mean,
That's
it's based
great.
on a comic book, but I've never read the comic book, and I've read a lot of comic books. So.
But comic book or not, like a lot of these ideas are like so absurd and stupid and funny, but there's just something about this movie that
And
doesn't
maybe this
land.
is where the direction comes through. Is like visually it looked great, but all of the jokes, all of the things that on paper, as we're talking about them, you're like, actually, that is like a funny idea. He won't
Right.
throw knives because
or
he's
cards like Gambit
yeah.
or something.
It's like, but he
That'd be
will throw
cooler.
forks and spoons. Okay, that's like kind of a funny idea.
And make
and
fork
then just in
puns.
execution
Mhm.
falls flat.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb as fuck.
And Hank Azaria's a funny guy.
All right, so we got Hank
He's a funny
Azaria. What's
guy.
his name in this movie?
He's the Blue
The Blue
Raja.
Raja.
The
Okay,
Blue
well, who's
Raja.
next?
He doesn't
Adam?
wear any blue.
So these three are the first guys we meet. So we meet them in an old folks' home, fighting Artie Lang from the Howard Stern show and his gang of guys with red goggles.
It's the most 90s movie ever made.
So
dude.
90s. So there's always a whole dance scene happening in a fucking old folks' home. Artie Lang shows up to fight. And the real superhero in this town is Captain Amazing. Right? I kind of diverted from the Captain Amazing is played by Greg Kinnear. And he's like, I don't think he had any superpowers. I think he's had gadgets, right?
He had sponsorship.
Yes.
I think he was like a Batman character because they were like, "Oh, you're the." There was a theory that he was the billionaire, and they're like, "No, because the billionaire has glasses."
That was a
good joke
That
because
was a good
because
joke.
I was thinking about it. I was like, why is he not masked? Like, what are they trying to do with that?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, they're playing the glasses,
the Clark Kent
joke,
joke. The
thing.
Clark Kent gag.
Which
yeah.
that's great. That's what I'm here for. Is that kind of shit right there.
And it was funny when they did it, but still, like, none of us laughed out loud. We're like, okay, yeah, that's
no,
where
but
you're going with that.
there was some like
It's clever.
effort
There was
there.
a lot of this. There was a lot of
Yeah, exactly.
or like
Okay, I got what you're going for. There's no Barbie, right? There's no Barbie. Awesome.
nothing
but,
is.
Again, Greg Kinnear. Give me a more 90s actor. Than
Right.
Greg Kinnear.
He's like the superhero, and he has like like fucking Jiffy Lube and Pepsi endorsements all over him.
That's great. That's all pre The Boys.
This is all before
So
the boys.
I mean, this was kind of a funny, interesting take at the time.
Well, probably the guy who wrote the boys read the comic book this was based on.
I would probably assume. So.
Yeah. So let's get back to who the team of our superhero team is. Right. They meet a bunch of miscreants, including the Spleen, played by Paul Reubens. Honestly, my favorite of the Mystery Men. Greatest
His
superpower.
superpower is that he can fart with accuracy and with such stinky precision that it will knock people out.
Incapacitated with the flatulence.
Yeah.
Incapacitulence.
You know, I'm not going to say none of those scenes made me laugh, but I'm still torn about the idea. In
I
general.
loved when he farted in what's his name's face, in Casanova Frankenstein's face, and the wind is like blowing in his face. That got me real good.
It's good.
The creativity of like these characters' powers is like at least a tip of the hat.
I mean, that's the only one. The only other person that has powers is Janine Garofalo, who
This
has
is a very weird idea.
who has her dead father's skull in a bowling ball, similar to Bill Murray had like that rose and fucking Kingpin.
Yeah.
But it's magical, and she throws it around. Her ghost of her dad, the ghost dad ball, fucking spins around and hits people and shit.
And then there's we left out the invisible boy who can only turn invisible.
We're
when no
not
one's
done. I
looking.
wasn't
Oh,
done.
sorry,
We're not
sorry.
done. Yeah, the invisible boy played by
By
Keenan and
Cisco.
Kel. No, it's Keenan and Kel.
It's Cisco.
It was Kel from
Played by
Keenan
both
and
of
Kel. It was Kel from Keenan and Kel.
Cisco was his stunt
dressed-
double on this movie. Fun
dressed
fact.
as Cisco from the Thong Song.
Yes.
And he was the invisible boy, so he could turn invisible, but only when nobody's looking at him. Ha ha ha! So funny joke.
Again,
That's
clever
but that is clever.
idea
It is.
executed poorly.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is clever. There's a lot of thought put in this movie is just like execution is the problem, right?
Yes. Sorry,
And just like the general, like, I guess, like laziness of the comedy, though some of it lands.
There's a lot of, you're right, a lot of laziness in the fucking comedy in this movie.
So there's a joke in this movie where the spleen who has the fart power, a skunk comes out of the bushes and then starts to fuck the spleen's leg because the spleen smells like a fart. And
makes sense.
And then there's like a shot of them under a full moon while the skunk is fucking his leg. And
I love how cavalier you are.
Me describing this joke is 10 times funnier than the joke itself. And it's like
it takes a long time. The joke's like at least a 45-minute joke.
This is the problem with it, is like the timing of the jokes. Jokes are all about quick timing, in and out. And these are like, we're going to tell a joke now. Are you ready for the joke?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here comes the joke. All right, okay, so the joke's happening now. Here's a joke. And the punchline is fart. Yep, that's right. I said fart.
That's Mystery Man.
You're like 2 minutes later, you're like, well, that could have been cut out of the movie, and I wouldn't be here like 2 hours later.
I feel like it's worth mentioning again. This is a 2-hour movie.
It's 2 hours. 2 hours. It's far too long for this kind of movie. It really is. So the last of the Mystery Men.
This movie has an ego, I think. An unwarranted ego.
And that ego is called Ben Stiller. Fuck, this is like Ben Stiller.
Or no, the ego's called faith in Ben Stiller.
Right. Ben will carry this movie. It's great. Just give him more scenes. So the last guy in the Mystery Men is the Sphinx, played by the lifelong badass, Last of the Mohican, Wes motherfucking Studi Sagat from Street Fighter. Wes Studi.
You had me, then you lost me.
Yeah, well, he was still a badass. So Wes Studi plays like a guy. He's like their trainer. He's like, I speak and I can cut guns in half with my mind.
He like actually has a really good superpower.
About being able to cut guns in half with his mind.
And again, another great gag is that he speaks in these riddles that all tie back to themselves. And when he and like as he's speaking, you're like, okay, I guess this is funny. And Ben Stiller calls it out. He's like, oh, you're just speaking riddles. Da, 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 da. And
it's a good Ben Stiller impression.
And like on paper, it's funny, but in execution, it's not. We're making
no, you're right. When Ben Stiller called that joke, I was like, God, this sucks.
Ben Stiller is the problem with this Ben Stiller movie.
It is. He really is, Ben.
And I like Ben Stiller.
I like Ben Stiller too. I think, like I was saying, like he was
it's
offered
not his fault.
He was offered the role to direct and write this movie, and he turned it down. And then Jareen Garofalo, who was his friend, like talked him into doing the movie. But then they gave him the movie, right? So like he got to like be his character, and most of the focus is him.
They gave the WWF to Hulk Hogan, basically.
Right? It's like when they gave WCW, they gave it to Hulk Hogan. Like, don't let the fucking star write his own contract where he gets the hot girl at the end, even though his character's a total cunt.
Yeah, that was a big misstep where he's just a total asshole, and then this beautifully hot woman is just
beautiful woman.
Who was that? Vera Sorvino?
No, it wasn't
Sorvino.
Vera. Her name is Claire Forlani.
I always confuse her with Vera.
She was in
Farmington.
The Rock.
Yeah,
she was like Sean Connery's daughter.
Mallrats, right?
She's in Mallrats. She was in Meet Joe Black. That long movie's so fucking long.
What happened to her? She was a good actress.
I don't know.
Very nice to look at.
Give me a call. So
I'm sure she's listening, Adam.
In this movie. So okay, let me move past those guys.
Yeah.
Because there is something about this movie that I've absolutely always fucking loved.
Oh, good.
And that is Casanova Frankenstein and his cast of bad guys.
Played by Werner Herzog.
It's played by Jeffrey Rush playing Werner Herzog.
Right.
And he's got his gang is called the Disco Boys.
Yes.
The fucking Disco Boys.
Yeah, I was
man.
getting some Warriors vibes in this movie too.
Yes, a lot of Warriors vibes. I'm gonna jump ahead real quick because there's a gag that Jeffrey Rush does that was my favorite joke in the whole movie. They have a room called the Disco Room, which is like their sanctuary, and Jeffrey Rush goes to the disco room and then does the disco finger, and I don't know why, but no, I do know why. It's because Jeffrey Rush is a good actor. He sold that joke.
He sold that fucking joke.
He sold that joke so well, and I just like burst out laughing.
You guys are absolutely right. This isn't a problem with Ben Stiller, though.
No,
that's definitely a problem. The problem is editing. If they edit it out, all the bad jokes in this movie, you'd have a tight 90 minutes of a solid comedy.
Yeah. We forgot to mention Tom Waits is in this movie.
Tom Waits is in this movie as the Q or the
he's like the
Alfred.
Yeah, he's the Alfred of the mystery man. He builds all their secret weapons, but they're non-lethal.
And he's
weapons.
great just because he's Tom Waits. There's nothing standout or hilarious about his performance. But
imagine if
I always like to see him on the screen.
Just listen to me, guys. Just imagine if like this movie had been made, and instead of Ben Stiller, it's Kurt Russell.
We can't do this every time.
Okay.
Every time.
So if it wasn't
his luster.
If it wasn't Ben Stiller, who would have been better in this
Chris
role?
Christopherson.
Dane Cook.
No, fucking, I hate Dane Cook. So
The problem isn't with Ben Stiller. The problem is the role that was written for Ben Stiller wasn't inherently funny.
Yeah, it's not Ben Stiller's fault. And also,
it is because I've read what the director said, and he said what you were saying, Bobby. It's like when they did it, they just like in fucking Smokey and the Bandit or Anchorman. There's like, hey, just fucking do your thing. So Ben Stiller,
which is standard when you get that kind of star power,
right?
You'll
but
get something out of it.
Fucking nail it, man.
It's the chemistry too, right?
He's been with Janine Garofalo, and they had shows together. Like,
yeah, but the characters may not have chemistry though, too.
William H. Macy was great in this movie.
He was great. He was probably the best part of the whole movie in the sense of
next to Casanova Frankenstein.
Casanova Frankenstein, absolutely the best.
Is he ever not? I also got like almost a Buckaroo Banzai vibe out of this movie. All right, I'll just shut the fuck up. Been smoking weed. I just throw shit at the wall.
We didn't discuss William H. Macy being smoking hot in this movie.
Oh yeah, the whole movie. My wife was not paying attention, but she was in the room. We were like, "Hey, Sarah, is William H. Macy an attractive man?" She's like, "Absolutely not." And then we asked you, Austin, and what did you like? I think as the movie went on, our physical attraction for William H. Macy increased.
Speak for yourself when you say "our."
I think. He was handsome,
He's a
but
handsome
then
man
he was like a good dad, a good husband.
I like a man with a flat top.
I'll tell you something. Wait, I figured it out. Okay.
All right.
So, fucking Ben Stiller is a total, like, I just want to kick him in the face in this movie. But William H. Macy is like, I'll pat him on the ass, right?
Yeah.
It's confidence.
Yeah, there you go.
That's why William H. Macy is not hot in Fargo, because he has no confidence.
Yeah.
And Ben Stiller is hot in the Royal Tenenbaums because he has confidence.
There you go.
But in this movie, you flip the script. Fucking Ben Stiller is a whiny bitch. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can.
But I love a confident William H. Macy.
Have that character. That would have been funny as like a side character. Like the leader is like this insecure guy that gets no respect. Blah blah blah. But you don't want him as your lead.
Right.
Like you can have your lead just be like a regular guy on the team.
Because the other thing is that Ben Stiller's arc is that he learns how to be genuinely a rageful asshole.
Right.
And so it's like, well,
but again, his superpower is hilarious.
Everyone else had an arc where they became a useful superhero, and working together, they all combined into one superhero.
Mystery
Ben Stiller just went rage crazy and then like beats up Casanova Frankenstein. And frankly, that was the worst part of the movie because it had no like oomph to it. It was just like he got all mad and then beat up Casanova Frankenstein, and that was the end of that.
It's like if the character
Casanova Frankenstein kidnapped his hot girlfriend.
It's as if the character of Bruce Banner from the Hulk was actually Woody Allen.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there's no Hulk.
No, but yeah, the Hulk turns into you know what I'm trying to say.
It's like if like Woody Allen was the Hulk, but when he turned to the Hulk, it was Ben Stiller.
It's like Woody Allen.
It's like the Jewish Hulk.
It's like Woody Allen is to the Hulk.
The joke.
As Ben Stiller is to Dr. Fabulous, or whatever his name is. Dr. Manhattan. What's his name in this movie?
Captain Amazing?
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
No, not Captain. That's Greg Kinnear.
Casanova Frankenstein?
What's Ben Stiller's name in this?
Mr. Furious.
Mr. Furious.
Roy Furious.
Again,
Furious.
Is on paper. Sounds great. Sounds like a hilarious idea. But
I wonder if he was like going through stuff in his life. He's like, you know, when he made this movie, he's just like, I'm just not that funny.
He's like, I want a paycheck.
I'm just, you know what? I'm gonna look this up right now.
This movie, this is a full length. This movie just reminds me of the MTV Movie Awards of that era. That's what this movie is.
So speaking of the Smash Mouth song, All Star, is that the name of the song?
Yes.
Was played not once, twice, but I believe 3 times.
And not once, not twice, but thrice.
Let's not forget, 1999 is the year of Smash Mouth.
Yes. And I guess they paid for it and they were like, we're going to use it.
It was a big hit.
Was it?
Oh yeah,
I'm just kidding.
It was a huge hit, and it's the end of Rat Race too. That Smash Mouth is the big prize at the end of the movie Rat Race.
And let's not forget Shrek. I mean, it's fucking everything.
And then the Winnie the Pooh movie used that Third Eye Blind song about smoking crystal meth, which is interesting. Anyway, side note. Okay.
The next year he was in the Limp Bizkit video Rollin'.
Oh. We love
Ben Stiller
Limp
was?
Ben Stiller was.
That sounds about right.
We listened to Limp Bizkit earlier today.
This is let's take a trip down memory lane for a moment.
Sure.
To I'm going to say 1999.
That's when this movie came out, yes.
Smash Mouth fucking All-Star comes out.
Rules the fucking world.
Huge hit.
Huge.
One of my favorite childhood memories of Austin Hambricks involves this song. Austin, please take it away.
All right. So I was a Boy Scout and we were camping in like a warehouse. It was really weird.
That's not camping, bro.
It's not camping. It was like we were driving to wherever it was.
Rape.
And we're in a warehouse.
Boy Scout.
We'll get to that later. No, but okay, so we're in this warehouse and we're all like camped out on cots and it's time for bed and everyone's going to bed, right? And the kid next to me has his earphones or his back then it was like a styrofoam earphone thing. And
headphones they're just headphones.
They're just headphones. And
Cheap
you could hear what was coming out of it, right? So it starts playing and it's All Star. And I'm sleeping next to this kid and I'm like, okay, Jesus Christ. And at this time I'm into Metallica, Rage Against the Machine, all this stuff. So that song, I was just like, no, thank you. But it plays.
You're very polite about it.
I was very polite. I was like, okay, whatever. It plays and it ends. And I'm like, okay, thank God that's over. And then it starts again.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Did you hear him click the rewind button or was this one tape?
This was the tape days. This was the day of tapes, right?
No, this was a CD.
So you could just hit the button and have it.
He must have had it on repeat. So it starts again. And I'm like, oh my God. I do not want to hear this song again. It plays all the way through again. Third time. Starts again. So I turned to him.
This is 3 times then.
I can't imagine. It played enough to where I literally turned over, grabbed the headphones off his head and screamed at him, shut the fuck up, play a different song.
But hey, man, he's an all-star. Get his game on. He's going to go play.
Did you get some sort of Boy Scout badge for doing that?
I should have gotten a badge.
The Smash Mouth shaming badge.
For saving that poor boy's ears, because, oh my God.
Well, I'll tell you this, gentlemen. This song was so heavily entrenched with this movie that the music video actually has the Mystery Men in the music video.
Yeah. Paul
Can we play the music video now?
No.
Oh.
We're not going to do that.
God damn it. No. Please.
Yeah, I'm not even going to put that in post-production.
I'm going to go listen to Ice-T and Body Count and watch all of that out of my
So
ears.
it was in this movie, which apparently was like the time it came out. It was in the Inspector Gadget movie. Okay. It was in Shrek. It was in Rat Race.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm missing something. There's another one.
I hate that song so much.
They had another hit too. I can't remember what it was.
It doesn't matter.
Walking on the Sun or whatever. No, that's something.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, it was in Digimon, the movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Could you imagine being a grown?
Mystery Man.
Could you imagine being a grown adult, let's say ages 18 to 23 at that time in 1999, and being like, "Hell yeah, I got that Smash Mouth album."
I was 15, and I knew that song was dog shit.
I didn't know that.
I like some bubblegum shit, but that is way too
far. I'm just now realizing that Smash Mouth shit came out in the actual 90s. That was 99. That was the real 90s.
Yeah.
I thought it was like later on.
No.
Wow.
That was exactly 1999.
That personifies 99.
I would rather, this says a lot. I would rather listen to Livin' La Vida Loca.
Oh, I'd much rather listen to Ricky Martin than fucking.
I agree. I 100% agree.
Shit,
I'd rather,
yeah.
I'd rather listen to
songs of that era.
Mambo Number 5.
Mambo Number 5, the Scatman song.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I'm the Scatman.
What about the techno dance version of Cotton Eye Joe?
Yeah. Sure. Yes.
Yes, I would rather.
Okay, let's try to think of a song that we like less than All Star?
It's gonna be really hard.
What was that band, Sugar Ray?
No, they're way better than fucking Smash Mouth. Mark
Okay.
McGrath is badass. We're talking comparatively,
Bobby.
comparatively to Smash Mouth.
Yeah.
I guess.
He was on VH1 a lot.
Oh man. Okay, songs.
Crazy Town.
Songs that were
Yes,
worse.
I will say Crazy Town. That's great. Come My Lady, Come My Lady is a worse song.
I'm a butterfly.
No,
Sugar,
I would-
baby. I would say,
first of all,
I
All-Star?
would take fucking Crazy Town over All Star. I would take
I'm not
Crazy
saying it's
Town
a
over
good
Smash
song.
Mouth.
I'm just saying.
Crazy Town is
yeah.
ripped off Red Hot Chili Peppers riff.
Okay, I will say
You know what
this.
song I used
listen,
to hate?
I bought the Crazy Town album back in the fucking whenever.
Can we get a silence for?
I never bought the fucking. I never bought fucking Smash Mouth though. I never bought that shit. You can't copy that
Adam,
magic that we already did.
Let's rewind for a second.
Uh-huh.
You bought the Crazy Town album.
Yep. 1990, 2001.
Were there any
whatever.
other fucking bangers on that record besides "Come My Lady"?
I don't remember. I don't think so. No, I didn't listen to it much. It's not still in the rotation. But I never bought a fucking
That
Smash
actually
Mouth
makes
album.
perfect sense.
Right.
Now that I think about it.
You were making me listen to Korn and Limp Bizkit on the way over here. Like
Oh
you're
my
fucking
God.
shaming me for this shit.
I'm not shaming anyone. I'm just curious. But no, I would rank Smash Mouth All Star.
Worst song of all time.
No. You know what's worse than that song?
Hey now, you're an all-star. Oh, that is
Two
that song.
Princes by Spin Doctors.
No way.
The Spin Doctors are terrible.
Okay, but Two Princes is a song. Oh my God, All Star is like unlistenably, like when it comes on.
You know what?
wanna
I take back what I
throw-
said because I could see myself putting on Two Princes as a fun joke and listening to the entire
exactly.
thing.
You put on All Star as a fun joke,
It's
and
like
then
40 seconds,
maybe.
But you know what? Like my kid, when he was little, we had a playlist for him on my fucking phone.
Did you have Baby Lullaby Smash Mouth?
No.
Was it Rockabye Lullaby Smash Mouth?
I mean, and listen, like we had some good shit on there. He had like Black Sabbath. He had a lot of good shit, but unfortunately, like the one shit song on there is fucking All Star. Like I have Megadeth. I'm looking at the playlist now. We have Megadeth. We have fucking Pantera. We have fucking Iggy Pop and Slayer, and then he wanted that All Star song on there.
Your child sounds pretty badass. If he's liking Sabbath and Megadeth, and
But the All Star thing like threw me off. I'm like,
I'm
never gonna let him watch Mystery Man.
You're grounded.
Yeah, you need to have a sit down and be like, okay, I respect your choices for the most part.
My friend,
but we have to have a chat.
We're not doing this fucking smash mouth shit.
My friend,
you want to smash your mouth? I'll smash your fucking mouth for you.
My friend burned me a CD of Rain and Blood, the Slayer album. But like every few tracks, he'd throw like a fucking emo song on there. So it'd be like Get Up Kids or like Dashboard Confessional or one of those bands. Like between tracks, and I'm just like, dude, fuck. I just want to listen to this record anyway.
I'm really racking my brain. I'm like while you
What's
guys are
worse than
talking,
Smash
I'm
Mouth?
trying to think of I'm trying to think of I can't do it.
NFE listeners, give us a song worse than All Star by Smash Mouth.
I think crazy, like at least Crazy Town.
It's not a good song.
Come my lady, come my lady.
It's not a
my
good song.
butterfly.
Sugar, baby. It's terrible.
You were listening to, you were singing along to Fred Durst and Jonathan Davis from Limp Bizkit and Korn, like rap talking shit, like in 1998, like fucking baggy pants, put a belt on, whatever dumb shit they're saying. You were singing the lyrics. Don't talk shit about Crazy Town.
You have a chest like Austin Powers.
He's like, oh yeah, bang bang. He's very defensive about Crazy Town.
No, I don't listen. I'm not defending Crazy Town.
You're very passionate tonight.
I will
about
sing along.
Crazy
You
Town.
fucking love Crazy Town.
Listen, guys, I would admit it. Like
I know
I'm not hiding anything.
But you are admitting it is the problem.
I did back in the day. I bought the album, but you know what? If I played it now, I couldn't sing the fucking song to you except for the Come My Lady shit.
Well, I mean,
which you already know.
I mean, there's only one line in that song.
Yeah, I got nothing. I really can't think of anything.
There's definitely
Bill.
some.
What's worse than Smash Mouth?
Yeah, okay.
By
we
All-Star.
need the NFE
audience
to weigh in on this. Is there a worse song? Because we cannot come up with one.
And keep in mind too, like obviously there are worse songs, but like for its ratio
Are
of
there, though?
like quality to like success ratio.
No.
He's just saying. He's just saying. There's no
it
worse
is the worst song
altogether.
ever written.
I really cannot think of a worse song. I really can't. Even like Metal
Hanson?
Machine Noise by like Lou Reed. I'm like
Hanson.
No.
Exactly.
Mbop is better than that.
Mbop is definitely
Mbop's
better.
a banger.
Yeah, they were very talented young men.
Mbop's a fucking banger,
Yeah,
man.
it really is. I was like, man, these chicks are hot. Wait. All right, hold on. I want to stay on this topic for a second. So, like, who cares? We're at-
We have not- What's the topic, Bob?
My theory would be
I like how this went from a Mystery Men podcast
whatever
to an all-star podcast.
My theory would be
fine.
whatever the song is that is worse than Smash Mouth is likely in the 90s or the early 2000s.
Yes.
How about this? Shake That Laffy Taffy.
I don't think I know that song.
Sing it for us, Bobby.
Shake that Laffy Taffy. That Laffy Taffy. Shake that Laffy Taffy.
I already like it better.
I like it's better than all. That's way better than All Star.
All right.
Hey,
Fair,
now
fair.
you're an All Star.
Oh, yeah.
Get your game on. Shut the fuck up, Smash Mouth. Fucking smash your mouth.
All right.
I made
hold on.
that
What?
aggressive
Okay. Speaking of mystery men, Kel from Kenan and Kel is in this movie as the Invisible Boy. They make a really funny, long-winded joke about his long cock.
They make a black dick joke.
Yes.
And they take a lot of steps to get there.
Yeah, and it's like
It's like they
really
put him
pay
in.
off.
It feels like they put his character in the movie with that superpower just for that fucking joke.
And it was a banger of a joke.
Yeah.
Now, he looks like Cisco. This was a thing in the late 90s, early 2000s where like black dudes would bleach their hair, but it ended up looking weird and yellow. Cisco did the thong song. Is the thong song better or worse?
Yes, better than Smash Mouth.
Better.
Yes, 100%,
Jesus.
100%.
That thong.
Yeah, man, I can get into that.
Already. I'm like, yeah.
Bitches be shaking their ass and showing they thongs from that song. You know, they only do that with fucking Smash Mouth All Star.
You'd go to jail if they were.
Yeah. So anywho, so this is digressed into
Even
the
here's a contender.
Smash Mouth podcast.
Here's a
I want to hear
contender.
y'all's contenders because I understand what you're saying, but there's
Yeah.
got to be something
There's
worse.
got to be something, but you know, this popped into my head. But even then, I'm like, yeah, it's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Who let the dogs out? Who?
No, better than fucking Smash Mouth.
It's better.
See, I don't feel
I was quick to say
bad.
better on that.
I don't
one.
feel shamed like singing along with the thong song or that
Yeah.
or any of that fucking like.
shame is the answer to this. Like, what song do you feel more shameful hearing and singing along?
I feel shameful singing along to fucking
Yeah,
Smash Mouth.
Mbop wins over Smash Mouth. I'll tell you that much.
Sure.
I fucking love that.
Oh, you think
song.
Mbop's worse than Smash Mouth?
No,
It's
no,
better.
I'll defend Hanson.
I'll defend it.
It's fine. It's like it's not for you. You fucking middle-aged piece of shit. Yeah, they don't make everything for you, buddy. And it'd be creepy if you were into this.
That's true. It's best that I'm not.
It's like a
man.
deep philosophical inquiry.
But here's the deal. You know how like the number 0 represents nothing.
Yeah.
It represents the baseline.
That's Smash Mouth.
You can't be like what's more 0 than 0? There's nothing more 0 than 0.
Yeah.
It's Smash Mouth.
It's Smash Mouth.
It's Smash Mouth.
All
That
right,
is
well,
that's the zeros.
Well, I guess. Do you guys like the movie Mystery Men starring Ben Stiller?
I will say I think there is a good movie inside of that movie.
It's all right.
It was fun. I laughed a lot. I didn't laugh a lot.
I mean, listen, I watched it when it came out, and then I watched it again, like maybe 10 years later, and I might watch it again in 10 years or so.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
If somebody out there, if one of our fans can make like a tight 90 cut of this movie,
I
where
would
you
watch
just
it.
edit out just the majority of Ben Stiller's bad and all the jokes that don't fucking land, you'd have a good movie. And
here-
I'd love to watch it.
Here's my review of this movie outside of what we've already said. If we weren't recording the Not For Everyone podcast tonight in an alternate universe and both of you come over and you were like, hey, we got to watch this movie called Mystery Men from 1990. It's fucking awesome. I'd be fucking real pissed at both.
That is fair. That is
That's
fair.
true. That's true. That makes sense. That's a solid assessment there, buddy.
I give it a solid thumb sideways.
One in the middle. One in the middle.
You got the Joaquin Phoenix, Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
Anyway, this has been the Not For Everyone podcast. This has been a very interesting party episode. Of
It's
Not
been
For
a lot
Everyone
of fun.
podcast with Simple Austin and Crude Rude Dude, Fox and Sons Coffee, foxletterinsons.com, promo code NFE. Get yourself some savings on the coffee.
Get yourself some delicious coffee, take it home with you, put it in a cup, and drink it.
There you go.
Fox and Sons.
Schlock, what is it called? Flopbuster Videos coming is ending very soon with one more episode of John Carpenter's Ghosts of Mars, and then we're moving into Halloween season. Still haven't decided on a theme for that.
Help us out, folks. Give us some advice and ideas.
Hit us up on Instagram at Not For Everyone Podcast or on Patreon, patreon.com/not.
Oh, I've got an idea.
Yes.
Halloweeners. It has to include at least one dick.
Just Halloween movies with dicks in them.
Yeah.
Now, how many can you think of off the top of
Do we
your
have an
fucking head?
expert that would know?
Yeah, we're looking at them. How many dicks? How many Halloween horror movie with dicks are there out there? Come on.
This sounds like a
I think I'm taking away his
completely
producer
separate
credit.
podcast.
He's really taking this in a whole different direction.
Austin, you should start a side podcast just called Halloweeners, where this is
go.
the topic
Yeah,
of
this
the
is the
entire
topic.
show.
I'm disappointed that you didn't give me one example. Not even one.
No, there are just so many.
Give me one.
Okay.
It's not the name of a fucking movie. Okay. What the fuck is that? Is that foreign?
It's a foreign film. it's Swedish.
Is that a movie? The Burning?
Look,
Is there any dicks in
not
The Burning?
every one of my ideas is going to be perfect.
But hey, Paul Reubens,
We love you.
We'll see you in hell, buddy. We'll see you there.
See you in hell, my friend. Greasy little nasty little girls.